Call to order Myrtle Creek City Council goal setting meeting for December 16, 2025. Roll call.
Counselor Diana Larson.
Here.
Counselor Kathy Rad.
Here.
Counselor Jamie McElmott.
Here.
Counselor Robert Cheney.
Here.
Counselor Rick Held.
Here.
Mayor Luke Dillon.
Here. Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Goal setting. Nice drawing.
Not sure Ron will do it.
Do you want this to do that thing?
Yeah. You guys have a finger on the pulse of the community and you hear from everybody.
So we broke it down to each department, and this is, I mean, these are ideas coming from department heads, employees, everything. So do you guys want to start with anything in particular, or just want to start right here?
Yeah.
So parks and park development, and these are goals that we started basically once Zach took over and we started writing things down, and we've accomplished the ones that have the green check mark, so. Park and park development, we already did the evergreen fence, we already did the creekside fence, we already did the lights of the basketball courts. The next thing we want on the list is the redo the evergreen bathrooms, complete these inside redone.
So what's being done to them now? We're, nothing, we're collecting materials, I think we got new stools, and we're waiting to order the sinks. And cause right now, from the floods, or the continuous floods that bathroom sees, the bottoms of the wood frame walls on the inside are starting to rot. So we're gonna pull it down the studs and repair all that.
Okay.
And then we'll put the new toilets in with new sinks and new,
And the skylight leaks.
the one skylight leaks, I wanna say we got a bid on that.
And we add to the restrooms, put mill site on there as well.
Well, so we're gonna have that, we have that planning grant for mill site,
Oh, okay.
and so that's part of that, that's why it's not on here, because we already have that
Right.
in the works.
So what's been, cause I know we've been talking about what's going on in Evergreen, that should get the materials done, but now we're talking about our goal is to completely redo the whole set of bathrooms. Yeah, basically just the inside of them, but we're not making them bigger or anything, it's a brick structure.
Okay.
We're just gonna fix those rock walls on the inside and new toilets, new sinks.
stalls.
Are we going away from porcelain?
No, not on the toilets, I don't think, just on the sink, I think the sinks are gonna be stainless
No,
steel.
because I was wondering, like they have in the restrooms at all your rest areas.
The
No,
stainless,
they're-
stainless.
They're all stainless anymore.
We already have, I think we already have all the toilets and everything,
I
so.
think we need to think a little bit more longer term, if this is gonna be done before the next budget, I imagine.
Yeah, well, it kind of got put on hold, the building maintenance guy moved to the sewer plant. So we've been without for the last month. So,
Also, it's not budgeted in this budget cycle,
Okay.
so.
Sure like some of that money to go into paving that street.
Well, that's a whole different department,
I know, but that it kind of has a lot to do with the connectedness of the Evergreen. Coming out of the park and that pothole, that street there, that little section where right in front of my house. Is just, it's been awful for 6 years. This is my 6th year and it's like, it gets worse every year.
Is
So
that the entrance or that?
it's the exit, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's the entrance, it's for
No, I
depression,
know,
but still the exit.
I know, it's just that as a part of it, it's like, to me, that seems really important.
would that be, where does the park end and the city street start, right at that fence line? Right at that fence line. So that'd be, it wouldn't be something that would be in the parks, it'd be something we could look at for on the streets. And that's under potholes. Or the streets, our street upgrades and pothole repairs for the last 2 years, but the way it all fell last August, whenever we went to do our paving, we didn't get any paving done this year. we ended up having some elements, family elements, and we lost workers and everything kind of fell apart right there at the end before the weather started hitting and it got too cool for paving.
Whatever happened with, the project that, Jerry, I can't think of his last name, wanted to do with the basketball courts up there?
With Nike? I haven't heard anything since. I think he's still
I think
working with
we
Nike. Is
pushed
that who you're talking about? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry, his first name is Jerry, I can't think of his last name.
It's Jerry.
He was supposed to,
Jerry Sloppy J's Restaurant.
he was supposed to be working with Nike and was gonna get back to us if there's any update. And I don't think anybody's heard from him. You guys heard from him in March?
I see him at the coffee shop all the time and I'll inquire.
And do we have
Yeah.
the lights, are we putting in LED up there, is that what we're,
At the park, yeah, they changed them all over.
They already did, it's all done.
okay.
While we're on Evergreen, the little pillars that used to hold the cables, that there's no cables anymore,
They all rotted off.
something.
You want stuff like that back?
I don't know that necessarily want them back, but to where they're not rotten, still on the ground.
Either take them out or do something with them,
Yeah.
Yeah.
clean it up.
Yes.
So we had an issue the other day regarding that, and somebody drove across the park, they called it in. Luckily, we haven't had a lot of rain yet, so they didn't make big impressions and ruin the grass, but they drove through that section, basically, it looks like they came in,
They drove
possibly on the exit part, and then drove across there in between like the pavilion and the playground, and then exited out by the garbage can over by the restrooms.
Yeah.
So-
And that's where I see them being
We had
beneficial.
issues a couple years ago, I wanna say, on Graveyard, we had a call and the officers ended up catching them, but they were intoxicated, younger adults, and they went down there and they were spinning cookies and tearing up the grass and stuff, so.
I mean, I see them being beneficial, but also when you're having events, having a spot wide enough where you can drive out there if you do need to unload something with permission. But either fix them, do something with them.
Yeah, and another thing that was on there under Parks and Development, and was one of the Parks Commission's, big time goals. They were going to try and cover the tennis courts down pickleball, whatever it
Yes,
is
so
now.
they could play it.
Now, where is that? Is that
We've
still out
tried,
on
we've
track?
tried 2 years in a row and
We run into issues with, the part of the grant process is community involvement and backing and donations from the community towards a project and ADA compliance without being able to pave that walkway and make it truly ADA accessible out there. We run into, those are little checks that get you knocked off the.
Cover the other one that they turned into a pickleball court up there at the swimming pool, that could be ADA for easily.
Mhm.
That'd be a
Or the
lot small,
basketball courts, more people use the basketball
Yeah.
courts than.
yeah, maybe a much, probably a much, smaller project.
And why we're,
Unfortunately, they don't like that one. They sent Michael up there and crack sealed all the cracks. But whenever their ball hits the crack seal, it makes it fly weird, so they don't like playing there.
They don't have to play
Well,
pickleball.
I don't wanna say it.
This is what I'm hearing from the pickleball.
the
Yeah,
part
they're pretty picky.
on the corner by the library that used to be the rose garden.
Yeah.
I would like to see that fixed back up a little bit also,
You
because
agree?
it's a prime location where you're driving down one of our main roads,
Visible.
it's visible.
What do you mean the original Maggie Steinbach?
Yeah, the original park, it used to be the rose garden, it was super fun, and you got yelled at for picking roses.
Yep.
Are they gone?
I haven't been in there in a while, I just know last time I was in there, it was really overgrown. The park didn't look good, the benches were in bad shape, and
So we need to maintain that little park better.
I don't know if that's something, like if we have a garden club that might be willing to manage or do, or Girl Scout project, something.
How was the skate park? Is it still in good condition?
Oh, I have it.
Yeah.
My son spends a lot of time at the skate park, and it's really built for experienced skaters, and if we could expand on it where there's something more for the scooters and the inexperienced. Add it up to it.
That we came back from Portland.
Yeah, we met with the girl up there that that had a display that one of the vendors up there.
They call it a King Park or something.
Yeah, they go around the country, I guess, maybe.
I gave you the brochure on that.
We've talked to them, she's called here and I've talked to her.
Oh,
The lady.
Cause we have,
That would be a good thing to use our grant opportunity for this year.
yeah, cause we have that space between the dog park and the skate park we could utilize maybe. And then there's also the suggestion, I don't know if this is makes sense or not, but is there an opportunity to even move the dog park so we can utilize that even?
Yeah.
I was thinking like, what's the, I was Creekside, the backside of Creekside.
Because there's water down there too, and it's
Yeah.
green with
Yeah,
sprinklers.
because that's,
And
that's
that's
like the
shade
worst
tree.
dog park.
Yeah,
We've
so
talked
I
about
think-
that, they even,
And then maybe one of you guys suggested, because I remember it was kind of in my head, but on that backside of the Creekside, that'd be good.
And there's a lot more space down there.
yes, and water, like, yep,
Yeah,
with green grass.
so then
Yeah,
we can,
way more dog friendly.
yeah, so we can.
And they call that, the thing that she was talking about was a pump track is what we
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah,
It's more, for BMX and skateboards, you know, it's more multi-use.
but it's also, I think it was also, could be utilized by younger kids too.
Yeah.
Younger kids.
That's a really good idea.
At Creekside though, they use that for soccer, would you be able to,
There's room behind it.
but how would you be able to access that dog park somehow without going through the middle of?
Oh, yeah, because down along
Street, right?
what is it?
Well, you can even do it on the
Oak.
right side, okay.
Yeah, that's
It's far down at the far end, there's openings down there in the
Right
fence.
where the new fence went in. Would we have to take out those trees or would we be able to just make a walkway down next to the trees? Think we could leave the trees?
I think the trees would be nice because it would provide shade for the
Absolutely,
animals.
yes, and that's
People,
one of the
'cause
things
right now
that's missing in that, as dogs love trees.
And
They're like-
it's not a permanent structure,
You do.
so it can be in the 100-year floodplain.
No.
Exactly, it wouldn't be a problem.
It's in the current year floodplain.
So, you had talked about the grant, where we at with that? It's like a we're at a planning stage of that or something, right? Or, is
Is
it
it just
just,
on the master plan?
yeah, no, it was the grant that you were talking?
The planning grant, it's just for Millsite,
Yeah, it's just from those sides,
Yeah.
okay.
and we're still in the process of getting,
The RFP is out. It has a deadline of February 2nd. We have it published on our website and in the, it's the Commerce Journal. I don't know, but I can't remember what the D stands for. There's a,
Well, with that grant and all kind of stuff, would that still kind of fall into this meeting of like, what we want to do with it or things like that, or?
Yeah,
well,
'cause that's
there
all
is
it
one
is, it's a
thing, it's a planning grant. That's all it
It
is.
does.
they just come in and tell, it's just for Millsite, they're gonna tell you things to improve and things to change and.
Okay.
They do drawings, schematics.
Oh, and then there's the possibility of getting a bigger grant beyond that, but it does.
We would use.
The next process is to get the grant to do those things.
Okay, and that's not, strict, okay, gotcha. Gotcha,
Okay, we got on parks,
yeah,
okay, police. I know it's been a talk over the years, about doing a dog kennel. They only have a tiny little space to stay, and if they're there for a long period of time, need something bigger. Impound lot.
Do we have room there for another dog kennel?
We do, and Zach, or Brian actually got a bid for that, so back on August 21st. The bid, that was pretty cheap, at like $450. So what it was basically doing is you're coming off, kind of the main 4 kennels that we have, the dog runs that we have right now. And on the backside, you're kind of just building a larger for like a long-term dog. And so they have a larger area to run and a covered area and something like that. So the runs that we have right now they're fine and they're good for, you know, the small temporary stays we have, but we've had dogs in the past who've been there for months and months. These are criminal cases, we have to hold on to them.
Right.
It's just not fair for those dogs to have to be in those little runs like that. So, that cost was with Brian, I believe, doing a bunch of the work himself.
I think that was just the cost for the fence.
For the fencing
Yeah.
from, one of the bids that he got from Prince Chuck.
So
$450 sounds like. it's-
Yeah, that was from the fencing. I don't know what the cost was gonna be for the materials.
I don't think I've ever seen the finished cost.
Yeah.
Pour concrete, we have to put a roof structure on it.
Right.
We're gonna have to dig a trench to drain for the, spraying down the kennel, the feces to go back into the main one that we have right now. So maybe a little bit more cost than that, so.
But it's still not real prohibitive at all,
No,
and it's definitely a benefit.
yeah.
Right, we've talked about it for how many years?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, it was something that we talked about a few years ago when we first came up to this, and I thought it was gonna get done, and then it never did, so that's one of our goals, and I think the priority to get done.
But now strict on that.
On the second,
She's the, this is just, this stays in my office.
on the
This is my
second
thing.
one,
Okay.
where do you take our impound? Where do we get our impound?
So this is a different thing, and the reason this has came up, Winston recently just ran into this, so before. When we've had incidents, so say there's a fatality crash, right, and there's gonna be criminal charges because, somebody's a victim and somebody's a suspect. Before, agencies were able to take those vehicles, to the impound lot and they would keep them. Well, Winston had a fatality a few months ago and they took it there on a Friday night. When that happened, they were called on Monday morning and said, you gotta come get your vehicles. We don't let you take them there anymore. And so they're scrambling. And the deal is you have to keep those vehicles for evidence. And sometimes you have to keep those vehicles up to say 15 years if that's what they're in prison, they're making you keep those this whole time. And so, we have the last fatality we had was a couple years ago, was a guy on a bicycle on Pacific Highway. He crashed, so there was no criminal charge, but it's just a matter of time. It's, and we gotta be prepared when it happens. So right now, we have no place to store those vehicles. So worked with Zach, we found a space down at the city shop, the sewer water plant. And so we got a bid on that to fence it off. We already have the security systems down there, so we're good. We just have to fence it and barbed wire it. And it was $9,880 to fence that area off.
To give you how much space?
It was quite a bit of space, so we could park, several cars in there. That's also right now too, if we seize a car for a search warrant, we kind of have our shop there that we can put it in. Maybe, but this would be a place that we could utilize that to secure it. It's secured. The only thing we're gonna have access to it is the police because it's fenced, locked, with barbed wire, and it's got security systems. So we'd be able to short-term vehicles on that as well. And we had, I don't know, 3 vehicles at one time down there, at the city property that we had seized for criminal cases, and technically they weren't behind another locked fence, so. We probably could have ran into some issues on that.
Yeah. Sounds like a no-brainer.
Well, add it down.
I have new radios on here, but that's just one of our goals, cause we're doing that.
Yeah.
And then police, lot fenced, so they're parking.
Yeah, we're talking about that one.
We've been on that one for, we've
So
been trying to get that done for
I
what?
thought there was logistical issues with that.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on, there was logistical issues that somebody didn't like. And so the first time when Sean was here, it was approved, it was budgeted for, and then the company didn't start in time. That was right around COVID or whatever. So they didn't start before the end of the budget year. Therefore, it didn't get done. And then so a few years ago, it got put in the budget. And then when they did the logistics for the bidding, for the electrical part, there was gonna have to be conduit that would have came kind of from the garage side of the police department, the garage door. There would have been a conduit and then it would have had to run on the outside of the building because it's just cheaper than going through concrete.
Right.
At the bottom, and the prior city administrator did not like that because he thought it looked cheesy to have the conduit. I mean, it's basically covered by the shrubs anyways. But that was the issue last time, was they didn't like the looks of the way the power was gonna get ran.
And we did already get a bid on that
And
one.
and what would be, what would it look like?
The fencing.
Yeah.
And so it would be a chain link fence that's got the slats through it. I'm sure you've seen the slats that they put. It's like the privacy slats or whatever, you
Yeah,
can
you
pick
just
whatever
read them.
color.
It's gonna be like a black chain.
But like, how would
With-
the gate and all that kind of stuff, how would that work? Would it be
Yeah,
like
how would it
rolling?
roll?
Yeah, it'd be a rolling gate, so like right there where the sidewalk is, we would probably lose about a parking space maybe or something there at the beginning, but that's where the gate would be. And so the issues raised was, we've had people come to the parking lot before, the guys wash their cars, they vacuum at night. We've had people walk up on them, we've had, you know, somebody in the back of a city truck when that was parked there, throwing tools and thrashing around, and there's just been a multitude of things, so it was kind of a security thing.
And then you would, make it more secure on the top part, like.
It would go basically from, you know, where the front doors of the police department are. So basically that corner of the building, it would go across the parking lot where you entrance, and then it would kind of go up that stair step of the concrete wall, and then back around, between the daycare center and the back of the building. So it would also secure our Generac, natural gas, generator that's sitting there as well.
The back.
Yeah, the backup generator, yeah, because that's just sitting on that corner of the building.
And it has concertina wire at the top of it.
Yes. Reason for it.
Yeah. And so, that was, there's no grant for that, right? Or it was just, what was the cost, did we say? Or did we
So
know?
we got a bid on it, was 25,000, but I don't think that was with the gate. I think that's without the gate was.
Gates, please.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the basic one.
Yeah,
I have it in I have the bid in my office.
I don't remember, because I thought the total cost before was like 22 or 23, and obviously it's gone up, but it may or may not be without
Yeah.
because I don't have that one, I just have these.
Now we need to get a current updated bid for how much it is now.
So we do have a current updated.
Yeah,
bid. It was
I have to-
given to us a month ago, I just don't have that.
Yeah, it's in my office.
So would that fall under police or would that fall under, security?
Building.
Buildings and security.
Earthquake.
I think it's a citywide thing, not just a police department thing.
You can call it whatever you want.
Well, I'm thinking of where we could get the budgeting
Right,
for it from.
yeah.
That's what I'm thinking about.
Accounting stuff.
Comes from the general.
Jonathan, that seismic grant, what does it do on the outside of the building?
So I don't know of anything that it does on the outside of the building now. It may do paint, I don't know, because if they're having to, like on the interior, anything that they have to take out or whatever, that they can completely replace. So say they have to tear a wall, a little piece of the flooring up, put some, you know, whatever they put it there.
When they did the school, they replaced all the windows.
Right, so that's usually part of it, get the windows replaced and things like that. I just don't know if it covers the paint, but I know it will cover the parking lot.
No, I know that, but if somebody's issue was because you have a conduit that big that may be exposed, would they be able to cover that when they redo the building?
Possibly, but it's not even gonna be, if we get a fence, it's not even gonna be visible.
Right.
And, you know, we got shrubs, we got shrubs back there, I mean, you know, you got this going down the side right here, it's not even noticeable unless you really look, but. You know, most of that would go behind the shrubbery, so it's, you know, at the back of where the patrol cars are backed up to, and those big shrubs are there, so.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's just what I was told last time, that was the issue, they didn't like that, so they weren't gonna move forward on the project, because the cost would be too much to bury it underground, you would have to go through concrete and pavement as well.
Okay, we're good.
Bruce, you know anything else, Bruce?
No, no.
That was a good one.
He's got it.
I mean, I think the fence is an important thing for the staff as well. I think like my two top priorities right there, the kennel and the impound lot. Those are my top priorities that I think we must, you know, are kind of a must.
Whenever I approve the radio, okay?
Yes.
There-
Yeah, it's just not done, it's just not done, so it's not remarked.
Yeah, they're ordered and on the way.
So the next one is Public Works, but Public Works kind of just has a lot to do with water and stormwater and sewer. And the other thing they wanted to do was hire a new superintendent. So pool. We want to get new cameras at the pool, because there's been a lot of issues, security issues at the pool. And they don't have any, kind of
Is it at the
cameras.
pool or around, outside of the pool?
We should have cameras on every building within the city.
There's a camera system there. They were put up at the same time as the new camera systems here. So there's a camera system that sits on a pole, kind of, I can't remember if it's on the building, like at the corner by the skate park. And there's one that goes back to the pool area itself. And then there's one that covers a portion of the skate park. But the quality of the cameras, I mean, in my opinion, they're junk. I mean, I could have went to Costco and probably paid, bought cameras for $300 or $600, I would have better quality pictures than the ones that we paid for.
Yeah, cause everybody's got them and they're really, they're not bad quality.
To about the same time as they just put crappy ones over there or something, or? Cause
I
these
don't
ones
know,
good? Are
I'm
these good
sure
or
these
what?
weren't cheap, no, they're crap too, in regards to like, it's the same ones that we have on the outside of our building that covers our parking lot. And there's such junk that in the middle of the day, on a bright day, I can't even zoom in on a car in the parking lot and read the license plate. Now, I had night owls at my house, 5 years ago, I bought a Costco, and I could zoom further than that and read the license plate clearly. So I just don't think they're good quality.
So do we need to like, sound like there's a bigger issue that we need to kind of address?
Yeah, it should be cameras on all of our buildings.
Yes,
Yeah.
there should.
And quality
They're not
wise,
that expensive.
One of my suggestions to the prior city administrator was a concern for public safety, not on the police side, but I suggested about possibly having a camera on each of our water tanks.
Mhm.
And a security alarm if somebody broke the threshold of that fencing, because I'm not gonna get to, because we're in a public day, but that's just a concern of mine that I think that we should take safety measures to protect our water system.
Absolutely.
And,
I believe all the tanks should have alarms at the top, so
If anybody opens the trap,
opens the trap, they should alarm.
yeah,
I don't know if they've been tested or if they work.
so where does that alarm go to?
Yeah, who
That's a
cares?
good question. They shouldn't go to the water plant. I believe they should go and call out.
Probably the call out phone as well.
You should test it and see. Do
maybe
it.
do some drills.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like our current camera systems that we have are here in this building, and then on the outside of the buildings, we have one at the band shell at Millside Park, and that was been there for quite a while.
This camera's crappy too, like.
I mean, it's inside, like, the inside quality is pretty good, it's just on your outside quality, like, the camera's just not of good quality, like, you can literally get, a few $100 Costco cameras that do better than what our outside cameras are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have them at the skate park.
The ring cameras should be.
Yeah, we don't have any at Evergreen Park, we don't have any at the library, the basketball courts up here.
The one in Millside is pretty crappy.
Yeah, it's not a very good one.
Well, they had one at the library, but nobody knew how to access it. From what I understand.
You know what, I take that back, there is one at the library,
Yeah,
yes, that's part of the system.
While we're on the
but that's something that we should definitely have. There's lots of camera
water
options.
fountain outside.
Joanna, just write cameras on every city building.
Yeah.
And on the pools, I'd like to see an upgrade done to the inside, the locker rooms. That's been one of the biggest, I've had a lot of people complain to me about that constituents is that it's old and nasty and stinky. It just needs to be redone. Looking at the comprehensive plan that you've been kind of looking at, the 50-year plan, which we're 11 years into, shows the pool, they completely covered inside and all that stuff. So if we just take little bits at a time on that pool, maybe in 20 years, we can get to where we want to be, but. I'd like to see the locker rooms and the inside.
I don't know if there's any funds left in the,
That one is drained.
Yeah, the pool for this fiscal year is,
the Friends of the Pool, that is that accounts drained too, Friends of the Pool account.
the only thing that's left of what was, given, donated for the splash pad, which is only like $5,000.
Really,
Really?
because that was one of the goals of the Friends of the Pool, and some of the fundraising that was done for that was just what you're talking about.
The inside.
Replacing the locker, putting mats down on the floor and all that stuff.
The
was all
mats are
part of
down, but it has a smell,
Yeah.
for sure.
that. Yeah,
Well, then that's maybe something we put there when we talk about it at the budget meeting, and it's something that we need to, the next fiscal year is get money
Or
to.
maybe-
Can we do water fountains there too? Cause those are a little sketchy if non-existent. I think one of them's just a spigot and it just shoots water.
We don't have to make it.
Drinking
Yeah.
water.
How about umbrellas? I went out this summer and noticed that, the shade on one side, but nothing on the other
I
side.
know that we purchased new umbrellas like last year, or the year before, I
Oh,
think.
you did?
Yeah,
Okay.
Shade covers.
Yeah.
Or the shade cloth this summer.
Maybe we could reactivate the Friends of the Pool Committee.
With the Parks Commission.
They,
Why not?
I
Yeah.
mean, that's part of the Maggie Steinbaum Park.
Yeah.
I sat on that committee originally,
It's not in the parks.
and I chaired that committee for 5 years.
Because there's funds in the parks.
And Megan Monson, who is, who wrote all the grants for that,
The skate
I
park.
talked to her
The
the other day.
water outside.
I think the rules say that we can decide what we'll do. We can make that rules.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Rules for it's.
I'm talking over you.
Procedure.
Well, doesn't matter down there.
The pool also needs, upgraded safety things, we put backboard on here. But I think we also need to look at all the rest of their safety equipment.
We put an AED up there.
There is one, that is new, yes.
That went in there.
Yeah, they're saying that the backboard is just an outdated one. I guess the newer ones they're more faster to strap somebody to.
Well, if that's a safety issue, that should.
Right, but I think we should look at all their safety stuff, make sure their rings and, all that.
Yeah.
Anything else for pool?
So they need some new storage bags from some of those green ones for when the kids put their shoes and their water bottles in. They are from 1970. They're at least 40 years old, because I used to.
Reactivate the Friends of the Pool Committee so they can do the fundraising to finance some of this stuff. And Megan Monson, who wrote all the initial grants for the slide and everything, I was talking to her in the post office the other day, and she has agreed to be a part of it and help write the grants to, so here's some of this funding. So.
Great.
Yeah, she has friends with pool on there.
I'm not gonna share it.
Okay, moving on to water. The last couple years, I don't think it's ran Springbrook. We haven't ran it for the last 2 years.
I don't know when they shut it off exactly.
At least 2 or 3, probably 3.
But I mean, even our engineer agrees that that's almost a free water source for us. That water gravity's off the hill, gravity's through the plant. At no time does it ever get pumped. If gravity's into the system, we just gotta add our chemical.
Wondered where you ever started down in the first place. But
I don't know why it was shut down. I wasn't here for that decision.
But like at this moment in time, we only have budgeted for that, for Springbrook, like $7,000.
Yeah, just enough to pay the power bill.
Yeah. So,
because our springs up there are still producing, I mean, and where's all that water going? I mean.
Right into Harrison Brook,
Yeah.
Which is.
and then down into the north Myrtle Creek.
Yeah.
It just gets wasted.
Yeah, and we're losing
What
resources.
would it take to get it up and going again?
Well, the previous administration and workers that use it kind of as the parts, they went up there and stole a bunch of pieces and parts to keep the other plant going. I think like an air compressor. I know that we had, the previous administrator had the engineers come and look at it, to give us an assessment on it. I know it's got some failing, or it's getting old. But I don't see why we can't turn it on and see what it's gonna do and let it run and use it and then make upgrades as we go. Instead of just putting, I don't remember what the number was, it was a lot.
Yeah, it was a
Like
big.
$1 million or something to get that thing back up to new par.
Hmm.
Where they think if we use it and fix it as it's breaking down, it would make more sense to shut it down in the summer and do an upgrade every once in a while than just slam a bunch of money into it, because to recoup all that money would take years.
And then what do you need to turn on then?
Couple turbidimeters and
yeah.
some things like that, and we got water,
Cost wise.
turn on the house,
Cost wise.
I'm guessing 10 grand at the most,
And we don't have
at
an
the
operator.
most.
I think John's getting ready to go sit for his test this month or next month. Basically, when Steve retired, we lost the only filter endorsement that the city had. But John's, I think, currently studying to go get his.
So we have to wait for that at least, is what you're saying. Okay.
I mean, we can contract with a local operator who has a filter endorsement and they can sign off for it. I mean, I want to say there's a cost to that, and usually it's $700,000 a month to have an operator sign off.
But you don't have the money, there's
We don't have any money for it.
this budget right now anyway, so by the time we set it for the next budget, we should have that operator in place.
I don't think so. I hope so.
Yeah, that's for the next budget, that's good.
A distribution master plan, you're supposed to replace master plans every, what we,
It's either, I think it's 10 or 20 years.
and our current one, last time it was replaced was,
96.
I
so,
thought there was some work being done on that just a few years ago that they were supposed to come to us.
I don't think it was
Had
that
some
one.
amendments.
That was the.
Is it different
water
master plan,
one.
probably?
yeah, there's different, yeah, different pieces of the master plan, and the distribution, I don't believe, has been redone.
Okay, maybe,
Yeah.
just,
And so,
So you're saying there's like one major master plan for the city and then there's different sections of it?
oh, yes,
Oh, yeah.
you're gonna see master plan and hear master
Why
plan.
is it no, that was different than what I was thinking, like there's a bunch of different master plans, but there's actually one master plan with different sections, is what you're saying. Or is it?
No.
They're all, yeah, they're all separate,
Okay, so they're all separate, okay,
Yeah.
so, okay, that's what I understood to be, yeah.
yeah.
They're all separate and they're all about $180,000 a piece.
And they all need to be redone,
Yeah.
Just for the master plan,
yes.
So
and the
basically,
master plan just gives you an idea.
Can we,
of what to
and
do.
how many master plans are there?
we got a streets one, we have.
I mean, so water, sewer,
No, I think it was,
I don't
sit there.
know.
Reclaim water.
Oh, because we're working on the sewer in the grants. We have one in the process with the grant.
Yeah.
Streets is a master plan.
Yeah.
Um,
Water has a master plan, the biosolids has a master plan,
That's five, how many more?
hopefully that's it.
That's about it.
It's $900,000.
Yeah.
And so basically, without a master plan, we can't usually get grants for anything. Yet they have to know that, you know, it obviously needs to be done. It has to be in the list of things that need to be
Can
done.
we, prioritize the master plan, like what we, like, instead of, you know, we can't maybe afford to do all five of them at one time. What, like, one or two do we need to do now, or need to be updated now, so that we can get those done, and then maybe, hopefully, wait a couple of years before they do the next one.
Well, I mean, our hope is like for sewer, because we're in the process of hopefully getting a master plan for sewer through a grant. That means we would need that water and that streets.
There weren't any amendments or anything, because it seems to me that it would have been, when they rebuilt the plans, that they would have done something done with the master plan, with the new plant coming online.
So-
They just did what they had to do to get the.
Yeah, so the amendments only,
Just the amendments.
you're talking about like with the,
The wastewater plant and the water plant. Because the wastewater plant,
so that as far as we can see, so I'm thinking the master plan was done in 96, and then when was the wastewater plant?
2004.
Right, so that master plan probably,
Came out a little bit before that.
No.
The wastewater plant,
That's when they turned it on.
2004, a year ago.
right, so that master plan that was done in 96, 98, whatever it was probably for them redoing it. It probably took that long to,
well, maybe. It was
I can go grab it if you wanna look at it.
no, I don't want to look at it. Not right now.
Okay, so
I'll
a
take it home and go to sleep.
yeah, a distribution master plan, carbon gap.
Yeah, so that's part of the water plant, so that in the summertime, they run all the water through that, it's a carbon filtration, to get rid of the taste and odor from the river.
Is that big tank that's on the side? I don't remember seeing it, yeah.
I don't remember what the number was, but it was a significant number to replace.
I think it was right around 200,
Yeah.
180 to 200, it's the magic number.
Needs to be replaced.
Yeah,
How often does that need to be replaced?
I don't know. I don't think I've
It
ever.
hasn't been replaced since we put it online. It's been what?
2014.
Well, because what I would like to do too is as you're budgeting.
Mhm.
Is as you're costing some of these things out, we're also setting aside creating reserves.
Which water has a substantial reserve right now. So some of these things could go into the reserve and could be paid out of that. Just depending on,
Okay, well, when we prioritize, you know, all these things, we can see what we have funds wise, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
But I would like to see us reserving, for the next cot, for 10 years,
Yes.
or whatever, however.
yes.
Well, yeah, and that's what I had in mind too, is, we need to make sure that we're putting money in there and not that knee-jerk reaction of raising the bill $10 when it comes time to build a new plant.
Yeah.
Put $1 a year, raise the bill $1 a year, set that money into there to build the next plant, it knocks the
No,
number
we
down.
probably, I'm not sure if we're bringing in enough money now, even just the road reserves, maybe we are already, we just need to look at that too. Cause that way we're not, this isn't like we're not having this discussion really, it's more just, hey, this, we have time for this, it's in our plan, we've planned for this 10 years. We got,
Right.
and it's just a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then water service on Madrona, which we've actually already started
Starting that project.
doing that.
What's that now?
So water service, redoing all the water services on Madrona, it's the street that we got our small cities grant to repave it. We're gonna redo all the water services prior to it being paved.
Good idea.
And then I talked to the gas company yesterday and they're gonna go and evaluate their system up there and make their upgrades if they have any
Before you do
before we
it.
pave.
Good.
That's great.
That sounds like overvaluations.
Is Lily in the next street?
Nope.
No, that's the last street.
I'm just saying that.
Been down a couple of years.
Craig?
Yeah.
They're shoving us for.
Craig
Don't
Street,
take out
Wade Street. Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's like an alley, isn't it?
Yeah.
Christian.
Isn't that something the mayor gets?
Some short street.
Free water?
Yeah, it's short.
Yeah.
Yeah, the mayor gets free water.
Yeah,
I'll take the free water.
Oh, yeah, that's up the beans up there, there's some nasty ones there.
Yeah, up there in the last area. Yeah.
Okay, anything else for water at this time?
Let's go on.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
Is anything else for water?
No.
Okay, sewer. So cover the UV module.
Yes.
And maybe Cliff can explain this one. There's a generator switching here.
So currently, by the way, my name is Cliff Church. I'm the lead operator supervisor at the sewer plant. And so for the 13 years that I've been there, our switching gear, so if we have a power outage, it does not switch manually. So that means that forces somebody to get their butt in there and trip a 460 volt breaker to get the power back online. And typically, this happens when we get this atmospheric river and you better get in there right now.
That seems to be a buzz term.
Yeah. But anyway, so it's never worked. And so we're manually having to go in there and we could potentially, could be catastrophic, we could lose our UVs, all our disinfection. If somebody doesn't get in there in time to get those pumps going and get this plant back online.
Is that why they always have sewer spills when it floods? It seems like that seems.
So
They have accidents.
I think that's because the lift stations can't handle the flow. And so, or we have too much flow and we say, hey, we can't take it all. You need to let it go out. That's typically what happens. Our capacity is only 7 million gallons. That's all we can handle. So getting back to the generator switching gear, we've currently got a group of our programmers. We spent some money on the program right now, trying to get this taken care of and fixed. We're
So
not,
it's supposed to help, like, if there's a power outage
It
or.
switches.
it'll switch automatic. So the system we have is supposed to switch on its own and then switch back when the power comes on. It's never worked.
It's never worked. Nobody's,
In my 13 years, it's never worked properly.
has anybody looked at it?
Well, we've had the former bosses didn't seem to make it a high priority. I am. I don't want the risk we shouldn't have to worry about this. So I am currently working with the group. They've been in and looked.
Is it just a programming thing or?
It is.
Okay,
We're just trying to isolate what the actual problem is.
okay.
And so it's ongoing. I'm hoping to get it fixed sooner than later, but it's never fixed in the 13 years I've been here, so. And a new system would be hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, just
To
have somebody
replace.
look at it and try.
That's the, yeah, that's another way, because if we have a system that's already supposed to be doing it, we're just,
That's
hopefully we can
never
just fix
worked.
it. Right, is that the idea? And that's what's.
Explain how big this thing is.
And that's not proprietary, is it?
No,
Okay.
it's a giant Caterpillar generator, and
Yeah.
the problem is the generator comes on when the power goes out. It's just the switching telling the utility power, hey, we're not working, we need to switch over to generator power. And somewhere in between all of this programming is where we're
Message is
getting the issue.
So what do you need from us then? What are you looking to get?
I just.
Get it fixed.
Yeah, we want it to be a priority. We want it to be
I don't
a
like
state
getting
priority.
called at 1 AM and having to run.
Yeah, get it done. But is there money in, like, do you
Well,
need?
We have money.
But we're still working on it. We don't know if this is gonna work, whatever they're working on now.
Sure.
So we just wanna make sure it's a
We
priority.
just wanna keep moving forward, so hopefully in the next.
Yeah, and we need to keep that plant running as long as we can, because they're only supposed to have a 20-year life
Well, we're
expectancy.
already at 20 years.
20 or 22, 23 right now.
Right,
And we gotta start planning for the next one.
well,
And
I'm worried about another flood. Obviously being a flood victim, that would be the first thing that would come to my mind, you know, some sort of natural disaster that would cause it.
Well, then it's just going into the river and.
and just a question,
well, if that happens, we're not the only city doing it.
Yeah.
on a question on
It's
that,
happening everywhere.
can we get any money from Tri-City to help with that? Because we share
I
that.
think they pay half the bills,
No,
right?
it's a good
They
idea.
pay half,
They pay half
the
the
water
bills,
wastewater
Yeah,
treatment.
right, it's because it's a split on that.
Right.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
anytime we do any of that kind of stuff, they're paying half of it
Okay.
already.
Okay,
And they're well aware of it. I go to their board meetings and
okay.
rant to them as well that this needs to be addressed. So we're working on it. I'm not letting it, sit idle. We're gonna get it
It's
fixed.
been doing it for 13 years,
But that's not I wasn't in charge.
so you're on it now.
Correct.
Okay,
Joanna, one of them was, cover the UV modules.
Yeah, and the UV modules is our disinfection. So that's what keeps the parasites, keeps everyone safe going when it goes to the river.
Okay.
So the modules are in an open space right now. So when it rains, we do have mats and things over them. But if we had it covered, so they would stay dry without the, when it was rain or shine, they're gonna be dry, and if we needed to work on them, we could get out there and work on them without being in the elements doing it.
And
We also need to start talking with Tri-City about working towards the next plant too, making them a part of that, because, it's gonna have to be a 50-50 thing again, because neither one of us can afford to do it.
Well, and I think the plan is actually, as far as the volume, the plant has plenty of capacity. We don't see that much growth. Our average flow on a daily basis is
But you know how,
500,000 to 1,000,000 gallons a day.
how DEQ is on old stuff,
Well, I think upgrading as we move along is key. It wasn't engineered very well, so there are some things out there. If we had a pump go out, we're gonna have to call in a giant crane because it's 50 feet away and it's 20 feet up in the air, and there's no way for us to move it. And they didn't put in gantry systems for cranes to get those pumps removed or the motors or any of that. So we would have to hire out to have that fixed.
and if I remember correctly, the company that built that is out of business now.
Probably, you can see why.
I guess that's to me, that's a good thing to maybe start putting thought to, this is, what's it gonna take, or what needs to be, maybe Like, what are some things that we need to be doing to?
And I think that master plan that we were talking about, it'll address all that.
Good, okay.
Linderland, the Linderland project up where the sinkholes were. We got the engineer, we looked at it, got the engineering done, and all of a sudden it was gonna be
$350,000 to replace that pipe.
for the sewer side, just for the sewer side.
I don't remember what the sewer side cost was, that would have been the whole.
I think they were both really close, yeah.
They were a lot.
I thought it came in almost 600.
That's with both the sewer and stormwater.
Yeah, stormwater
Yeah.
together was almost
Yes.
600,000.
Yes, that's with the engineers being involved and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, with a project like that, I mean, you have two set points, you got where it's coming from and where it's going, and there's grades that it has to be at. I don't know if we really need engineers to stand out there. I mean, I think the take on that project for them was $100,000 that they were gonna make for just being out there and drawing up their plan.
And we already have the pipe for that. We have the
I don't
sewer,
have the sewer pipe yet, I do have all the water, or the storm pipe for
yeah.
that.
Because we bought 600 feet.
Yes, I think about 1,800 feet. For full,
Where did it, because it was sitting out there. Did
It's
it-
at our place.
It's at the sewer
It's
plant,
at our place,
We
yeah.
still have.
we still have.
So you're saying that we don't need an engineer, we don't need to do that cost?
I don't believe so. I just don't know what the rules are once engineers are called and they've worked on a project. Can I just be like, I'm gonna work without you now?
And did we get grant funds on that one?
No.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, can't we just fire? her?
Yeah, I don't.
Ask AI.
What's the contract? Yeah, what's the contract?
Yeah, I don't know how that part works. Am I allowed to just proceed on without them or? I don't know. That's a question I have.
You guys, like, what is there a contract involved with them, like,
They're just our engineer, they're
oh,
our engineer.
Did they do an estimate? Was there a contract for them to do an estimate of the project?
I believe so, yeah.
Then they completed what the contract said as doing the estimate of the project,
Yes.
then it's done.
yeah, they're done.
And FEMA didn't cover any of the upper Lenorland?
No. They would pay to replace the 20-foot stick that failed. And the whatever it cost to have the contractor dig that dirt out, put that stick of pipe in and then backfill it back is what they were willing to pay for.
Just that section.
Just that piece,
That's 20-foot section.
the 20-foot section, that's what failed. I'm like, well, that seems like a waste of time, because then if I got FEMA involved and then we move to the next step of replacing it. If we have the FEMA money in our hand and they want to start getting all of their environmentalists involved and they want to look at all the project and they want to go to now our project's gonna accelerate in cost. When we start looking for frogs and arrowheads and stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The last one for sewer is upgrade all pump drives.
So currently, as we've talked, our plan is 22 years old. We had a pump drive go out last week. Pump drive is what operates the pump to speak the language for the VFD. So we can operate it and it tells it, we need more flow, we need the pump to run harder, and all that. So we just changed one out. They're about $10,000 a drive. We've got 2 done. We've got 3 more that haven't went out, thank God. But I would like to budget money and get those other 3 fixed and upgraded to the current so we can make sure that we're safe and everything's gonna work when it needs to work.
Are they, is it a cost or a project where we try to replace them before they crash?
That's what I would like to do.
Okay.
We should be
Preventive.
I
proactive.
wanna be proactive and fix them and have them ready to go, so we don't sit back and go, oh, wait, now we have to call you in the middle of the night, cause we
Gotcha.
have a pump out and it's 2 inches of rain's coming.
And we shouldn't be in fear of a catastrophic event. We shouldn't sit there and be afraid of it. We should be prepared and
That's right.
Are they something that you could, when you take them out, fix them while they're out to have spares in case you ever need one? Or
It's not, nothing I can do, it's way above my capabilities. Yeah, I guess you could have one sitting on the shelf somewhere and they could come in and program
Yeah,
it.
cause
and put
if you
it
do
in.
take them out that are still working, you could save one back just in case. If you replace.
But if it's an old one and they're upgrading to the newer version, I don't know if you can change the version back to the
Yeah,
outdated one.
Software dependent, right?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
So that's another goal that I wanna take on is let's get these all upgraded and working right. Even though they're haven't crashed, but we've had 2 crash already. So let's just keep,
Most definitely.
let's keep building forward.
Yeah.
Anything from council?
Anything else? Streets. I think we can kind of put a couple of these together, like potholes and paving. I mean, that's. We already mentioned it. We all know what needs to happen. We did talk about, in our reserves, putting back, which this, in my couple years here, it has never been done. There's no streets reserve in all of our reserve. So this next budget cycle, we're starting a streets reserve so that we can start reserving money to do paving ourselves and not have to wait for these small city grants to do paving that needs to be done. So,
And that money was gonna come from the $4 streets fee, half of the $4 streets fee on your guys' water bill, we were just gonna start putting it, all of half of it. Like $30,000 or something, $38,000, I think. And then the other half of that $4 was gonna put into the streetlights and start upgrading streetlights and getting more streetlights. Figure you guys are paying that money, you might as well spend it on you guys.
put it where it
Yeah.
belongs.
Yeah.
Potholes and paving, is there certain streets that are in a priority?
The potholes, we basically us just going out ourselves and patching the biggest worst ones. And then fixing the spots where we have to cut the streets, and then paving is just gonna be based on what we are paid, what we think is the worst. Like Craig Street or, Wade Street, fixing Leon, or Lillian.
well, yeah.
We're just doing a cold patch on the potholes, right?
Yeah, well, no, so like right now, we would do a cold patch, but we, 2 years ago, we started coming back and cutting them out, and we go to the plant and get hot mix and.
Oh, okay.
Cause that cold patch, as soon as it gets wet or too hot, it goes popping out.
Yeah.
So in your opinion, would Maple Street where I am at, would that be a pothole or a repaving?
That would be a small patch to
Small
fix.
patch, how about a large patch? That's a big, there's a big also.
Depends on where it is, it is small and large.
Don't we have a street inventory as far as prioritized?
I don't think so, I think that's where we
I
would,
thought we were supposed
eventually with the
to.
master plan.
I thought we were supposed to.
That's where we're gonna get that, master plan done and,
Cause your arterials.
On that
and
street
veins and
master
arterial-
You bullet points down?
Now, there's only two,
That's the
two streets in the city
transportation.
that
Yes.
aren't paved.
There
There
are
are
one,
three,
Rice,
and then that's short in Springbrook.
that chunk of Springbrook, yes.
So is that some gonna be in the master plan?
does, pave Springbrook Road, the
Oh.
16 feet to
Okay.
18 feet? Is that the one you're talking about?
That wide? 16 foot
I
wide?
think we need to be.
Okay, I didn't know, because I know there's been talk about either pave or chip seal or something, just this, what the city owns.
Yeah, in my opinion, that seems like a way better way to go, to just pave our piece and be done with it, and
I would like that.
so that way.
Yeah, I bet you would.
Yeah.
That way
And
we're
it
not
doesn't get done right every year.
messing with those guys, because right now they hire contractors and they come out and they raise their orders to do that hill and.
That'd be fun. Trace off.
How far is it?
It goes all the way up to your neighbor's house, Kevin's house.
It goes,
Corner,
yeah, right to the corner, so that's, what, less than a quarter mile?
yeah, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be nice, you'd be happy with that, yeah.
Man, I feel like the road base up there would just be a small amount of grade work and lay the asphalt, and I feel like it's got a good solid base up there.
The streets where we were talking about sidewalks,
And you're talking about width to 16 to 18 feet, is that what you're talking about? Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't even see that down there.
Still would like to address sidewalks, that's, I'm not sure how to,
It would be, I would say streets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds like a good place.
yeah, just get an idea of. Yeah, what we need to do to fix them, what kind of.
Are
Maybe
you talking about
start-
replacing or repairing?
either, whatever has to be done, you know.
I thought a couple of years ago, when we first started talking about the sidewalk, I thought that, Lonnie, God knows where it went to, was going to do a sidewalks inventory. As far as
What, street inventory, sidewalk?
yeah, we're supposed to have these things, you know?
I mean, I guess the first thing we could do is go around where they're pretty bad, just go to the neighbor, go to the residents, say, hey. We are addressing sidewalks, we wanna give you the opportunity to fix your sidewalk first, otherwise we're going, I mean, I don't know, do it a nice way, obviously. But like, I don't know how you would communicate that to them, but start saying like, hey, we're.
Perfect.
taking this
That's right.
serious.
This is your responsibility.
Yeah, just, I make them aware that the sidewalk is your responsibility.
If it's a safety issue, we have to fix it for a safety issue, I think we can put a lien on it.
Could you
We
put,
can't.
There's something in there
Put
that
a
says
time-
you have to.
That's the way it's
Don't start
written
doing
up,
that.
and that's the way it's
could you
written
put a
up.
time?
I would read the ordinance.
You know.
Yeah,
Tell us to make sure you're.
Yeah, you're not,
Yeah, it would be legally,
Yeah,
or.
are they still responsible for it once they?
Do it. You
Yeah,
have to go
yes,
When you build the
exactly.
house,
Give them
they
notice.
continuously responsible for it, or just?
Backing up to the streetlights on there, now, we're doing 5 now.
We're doing 5 this
Apparently,
fiscal
one
year.
of them's gonna be North Berlin Springbrook.
Yes, you're gonna be.
I saw people down there today and asked them what they're doing, and they said, oh, they're gonna put a street light right here. I thought, oh, that must be one of the 5, and then next year we're talking about doing 5 more, maybe 5 more.
Yeah, we're gonna see how the budget ends.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys, if we have it in our goals and you guys want a certain amount done, I mean, I think it's something that we could work towards and.
Absolutely, yes.
Now, did you use the same plan? I know several years back, you went around and.
Yes, I know, Joanna actually found that plan that I had, or the notes that I'd actually taken and proposed. I don't know if you guys got that or not.
I haven't seen, but is that what we're good?
I don't know.
The list I worked off of was the list from our Facebook post.
Facebook, yeah,
And
there was a survey.
Tiger had another one came in, and then Haggard looked when he was on night shift.
Sorry, I wasted my time.
Well,
I'm just
it should have been done.
Around anyway.
If you did this 2 years ago or 3 years ago, it should have been done then.
Yeah.
Right, would be in this issue. But that's where the 5 that we're doing right now came from, is the Facebook people
Yeah,
that
that-
we talked about.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we did have on here crosswalk lights, but has a
That's
green
it,
mark next to it, so we did it.
That at the elementary school?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
that's got a push button for really black now.
good.
I guess the other night, with the little kids going to school real early, somebody got, the crosswalk guard got bumped into.
Yeah.
And then one of the streetlights we're putting on is gonna be that next pull down. They're gonna put it kind of a goofy angle and kind of get it over that crosswalk as much as they can.
Oh, wow.
Light that up more.
Uh-huh.
Is this on division? Right?
we need to assess the crosswalks. I've been on this for 3 years, 4 years. Assess our crosswalks throughout town and make sure that what we have is in the right place, like that one we talked about on Broadway there, that we did away with. And maybe putting that one back in further down the street, because right now there's only one across Broadway, is right there on Main, or on First, and the next one, I don't think there's even one down by the doctor's office.
So if we do work on the crosswalks, are we required every time we put a crosswalk in, we have to have the ADA sidewalks to conform to that crosswalk now, right? Is that?
Yeah.
I'd have to look, but I think down there on Broadway, that if you go clear up at the doctor's office, the sidewalks are, they don't even touch the road.
Yeah,
They got that grassy.
well, yeah, they got that grassy thing there.
So, I don't know, we'd have to do, they'd have to drop onto the road and then come back to the,
And I know that we as a city are in control of the crosswalks
yes.
throughout the
So-
city, so.
So once the sidewalks are poured, can we go and upgrade them? Like, can we put our ADA corners in?
Yeah, well,
That's a
well,
good-
we did that, we got a grant for that, what, how many years ago that was? That's how all these down in the, business, district here got done, was, there was a grant that the city got to have those all redone. I can't remember how many years ago that was, been 15 at least. Probably closer to 20.
I wouldn't mind seeing one, right across Riverside there, you know, as you come off the bridge, if you're walking.
But that one, I don't know whether we have control over or not, because that's a county.
About that.
But yeah, that has always been a hazardous one right
It's
there.
been a scary, place, definitely.
Anything else for streets? Public buildings. For last year's, in our last year budget, we had the HVAC system and the police station, we got that done 2 months ago, something like that, 2 months ago. So we have on here the golf course AC went out, I think it was this last summer.
I don't know when it went out exactly.
And so that is part of our public buildings, and since we're not really quite sure where that's gonna go. Whatever it's gonna be used for, or whoever goes in there next, we want it to be in working order. And then also for public buildings, the golf course kitchen.
Yeah, actually, we were notes on that one. I actually talked to Scott, so I told him we were having this meeting tonight, and just to say that there's a good chance he's staying, but we'll know that in a month. But he mentioned that the irrigation was really bad, and needed to be upgraded. The way that, because a lot of the drainage is all clogged, it's really old. I mean, it's over 20 years old. And so he was saying that a lot of the drainage is clogged because it's been buried over the years and all that kind of stuff, so I'm not sure.
I think in the contract, all that for their maintenance.
Yeah, it was all their responsibility.
Well, we talked to him again, but I know I think he was arguing the opposite, so we would.
He was arguing the opposite?
Yeah, so you would have to, that's a fight. Even if he was gone, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what kind of recourse we would have to, make him. He made that statement that it was really bad and needed to be fixed. So I don't know if we could get him to help with that or what we would have to be able to do.
Well, that's a big
I'm
expense,
just saying.
And we still haven't had the meeting back from the attorney,
yeah.
right? The last that I remember, it was going to the attorney to decipher what exactly happened. And if we have to give up all our golf
We gave it
course.
up.
We gave it up.
I heard they hauled all of that stuff out of there,
Oh, yeah, but it's still there.
the golf court carts and stuff.
Yeah, did you hear that?
They weren't using those golf carts
The
anymore.
golf carts that are out there, the ones they leased from another or
Yeah.
bought from another, but the ones that they took out of there, I believe, were the ones that were ours originally, that came with the golf course, but they haven't been using them for, ever since they took it over.
They were broke
Okay.
down, they built it.
They both said they were terrible then. Anyways.
And the equipment to maintain the golf course, did it stay?
It's all theirs.
It's all theirs, it's still theirs, it's just all theirs. Nothing's left.
Isn't there
Okay, so
somewhere?
we haven't had the follow-up meeting
No,
about that
No.
yet.
We still don't know what's going on.
no.
Is there some
Is that gonna be
language
on the agenda?
somewhere
Yeah, most likely.
on Zach?
Yes.
Is there some language somewhere
January, that was fine.
on the distribution of the reclaimed water?
Yeah.
That was at one time it stated that we, even if it was a cow pasture up there, we had to have the system to displace the water onto that, even if it was a cow pasture.
Yes.
Right,
Is that language still in place or?
I don't know if I've seen that.
Because we have to have a infrastructure to put the water out there.
We have to dispose of the floor.
right.
Yeah.
It's a benefit to the city to be able to put those on top.
Right.
I don't think they're talking about that, they're talking about drainage, right?
All of it, I think all of the whole irrigation system.
They said irrigation system at first, so.
You said irrigation and you said the drainage system.
Was it, yeah, is that all the same, part of the same thing?
I don't know.
Not necessarily.
My
Because if you irrigate, it's gotta drain.
So back to public buildings? Anything else in public buildings?
Yeah, security cameras and all. I'm gonna keep reaching on that.
I think we can
I don't
do that
think
a lot
that's a big
cheaper. I
ask.
have an employee, I'm not saying he'd be willing to do it, but I have an employee that used to work for tech and install tech and we worked for another agency, actually installed their security systems. I just think that there's a route that we can go and get a good security system in this city and not pay the
Yes,
dollar that we did for the system we got now.
Right, and
I
and
agree.
Get
have,
better quality.
there's
and
a
and
lot
have a
of them out there,
hardwire, but
and they
also
work just fine.
have the availability for Zach or you or anybody that's in charge can tap in on their phone and look at what's going on.
Exactly.
Right, I have that capability, I mean, I can get into it on my phone and I can see all those, so I mean, we do have that capability on our current system.
Okay.
To tap, to do that. And again, in the buildings, it's fine, it's just, it's not a good system, I mean, every time we have something at the skate park or whatever, it's like, oh, well. that's-
Well, that looks like somebody.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's not good quality.
Looks like a person,
Yeah,
maybe a dog.
quality security
Yeah.
cameras.
Anything else for public buildings?
Yeah. And one goal, it's not an infrastructure goal, the goal is to get some volunteers, I don't care where they come from, to get the visitor center up and.
That's another renewal thing.
I know, I forgot to bring it up there. I forgot to bring it up there. But it's a public building of the city, so.
Is it me?
No, it's never renewal.
I'm trying to swear.
Public building.
It's the volunteer sign up there, I believe. Isn't that what it's
It's just,
up there for?
I'm beating my head against the wall trying to get damn volunteers.
Well, some of the people that came in here and complained about it not being up and running and wanted this in there and wanted to fund it with this and wanted a coffee maker, we don't have applications for those people.
I was one of the kids that
But there's also other ones that aren't volunteering either, so the people that have been complaining about getting it up and running need to put their money
Money
where
where
their mouth
their
is.
Time for the mouth is.
Yeah,
We
we
need to
can,
put volunteer applications right there on that table, so every time somebody comes up and wants to complain about something, we can just push one of those.
Well, I'll tell you what, the big thing is, and I think this is, and I don't know why, but I think the big reason that everybody doesn't want to fill out the application and doesn't want to do the background check. I think that has a lot to do with it.
Seriously?
Why?
I don't know, but I think that has a lot.
I mean,
You have to pay for that, right?
To go to the school, you have to background check for
To
like.
do anything anymore.
Yeah.
They do anything anymore, but a lot of people are just that.
Your public information's gonna be out there, it's already out there.
Yeah, they want it, they're gonna get it. So stormwater, the only thing we have is the Linderland project. Stormwater.
Question for, that when you repave Madrona Street, they used to have ditches that no longer has ditches because they're filled in. How does that work? Over, they're filled with mud.
Most of it should be open ditch. And everybody wanted parking, so they fill them in so they can park.
I don't know what I did, but my neighbors like to park there and I'd really like it to be a ditch again, so they can park there.
I almost thought the other day if there were no parking things out there.
You should have, I'm so excited.
Well, doesn't that cause a problem with the flooding?
Yeah.
Because the water doesn't have any control.
It really messes with my driveway, it pushes all my
They shouldn't
rocks
be able to do
down
that.
to the drain
The
mouth.
culverts are there for a reason, to get the water where it needs to go, and if they cover those up, then the water's just gonna go.
Fortunately, that's all stuff that happened in the past.
So did they pitch that on Lawrence when they redid Lawrence, so they kind of got that pitch on the edges where it's technically not supposed to go out and wash the gravel, it just flows down into the.
Yeah.
Well, there's no storm drainage on Lawrence. And basically, when they got that road put together, right, it was just gonna run off in everybody's yard. So they did that little swale on that one side. So it didn't do that.
So that.
Is that what we're gonna do, or do I need to have somebody come in and dig
Just
it?
dig it out, just dig it out.
No, we have the regulations.
You have to.
I don't know, I would have to read on that.
Because if they were there, they should stay there.
I agree.
I mean, I have a culvert under my whole driveway, but it is guaranteed filled with mud over the last 20 years that I lived there, because it's never been open.
Well, this
Yeah.
new project that we have the grant for to pave everything, do they cover that? Are they doing?
I don't know if, I don't think that's part of it.
So they're just, so you go there and lay the bed, then pave?
Yeah.
Have we ever been able to find the source of this drain right down here in Columbia Bank, I'm sorry?
No, whenever they redid their parking lot, that's when that started failing.
Yeah, it has been failing for what, 15 years now?
Something like that. I don't, we went in, when I first came back, we went, spent half a day or something, and we tried jetting all the storm lines around there, and whatever they did, that one catch basin at the corner of their parking lot doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't drain anywhere.
It just fills up and then runs out across the sidewalk and then across the street.
So we've got plugs somehow.
What is that street?
Yeah, I don't know where but it's not, I mean, we could spend more time money on it, but it's there. And then you start doing that, and then everybody else wants their storm fixed.
This is, we gotta fix this, but we won't charge you.
Yeah.
Anything else with stormwater?
What did we get? Rerouted the storm drains or look into,
The ditch and then Leonard Land.
what about all the storm drains that have been covered up over there?
I'll look into seeing what the rules are and our code for that.
We'll see how wide the street's supposed to be, and if they're covering in ditches on city property.
Yeah,
we
that's
go open
not,
them back up.
like, you can't just let it.
If you go up there and look, most people got room for what, like one car in their driveway, so. I feel like they're just gonna start parking in the ditches again and we're gonna be right back where we were at.
So that becomes the city's problem, that they don't have enough room for parking?
That's just something that
Depends
how
on,
somebody's been.
depends on how the streets are set up. and
It's
what
just
they were platted.
it's just a bad design.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on how they were platted, if they're 30 footers or if they're 50 footers or what, you know?
And I guess it's their neighborhood that floods, when the water doesn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah, but I never thought of that.
Well,
Because we only have one more thing.
That's what I could say. Yeah. I'm getting nowhere.
Oh, just it's not supposed to rain an inch and a half Friday, so.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, it'll fill up the storm, my gravel will fill up the
That's
storm.
an atmospheric river.
Hopefully this is.
We'll get there, but the groundwater's,
You know,
there's no
something to
groundwater.
run water. Yeah.
The water, you know, we're gonna soak in a lot of it.
Experience.
It's time to give it up. I just,
Yeah, this discussion, kind of familiar with when we were talking about the new laws for FEMA, and that's why FEMA didn't want, they wanted semi-permeable.
Right, places for the water to go, because the water used to go, and then people stop the water from going where it used to go, and so it goes somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, there's.
Fire. For our fire department, they're looking for the flooring to be redone inside both their bathrooms. It's been since 1990,
When it was built.
yeah. Something.
Has it been that long since that was built?
Yeah.
Is it possible to get an alarm system or talk to the fire chief about getting a regular alarm system for
You don't hear this one that
emergency
goes off?
flooding? Oh,
oh, a flooding alarm?
yeah, I mean, we have alarms going off constantly, but when we have the flood, someone like me that doesn't pay a lot of attention to their phone or something, where they're getting alerts. And most cities actually have a regular emergency alarm.
You didn't get one of the reverse 911s?
I
I got
looked that morning, what I used that morning was, I sit by my, sliding glass window before the fence was put in with the privacy issue thing, and I saw the creek, I saw the silver streak, and I go, oh my God, I gotta get my animals and get out of here. But, yeah, alarm would have been.
Isn't that?
Yeah, but how would you know what the alarm is? That's our alarm,
It'd have to be
4 times a day. How would you?
It'd have to be a different.
Well, they have in the Midwest, they have a tornado,
Well,
warning.
they have
Yeah,
tsunami.
It's a totally different siren.
Yeah.
When it's raining, I mean, when it's been raining a lot to be on your.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
have alerts for that. Keep an eye if you're in a low lane.
And the emergency alert.
But I don't think anybody has besides tsunami, like you said, has a high water siren.
No, I've never heard of it.
Well, most people have an emergency siren of some sort. most cities, I would say.
I know Jonathan needed the reverse 911 thing, and then I know the fire department went around and was door knocking.
Yeah.
My officers went around door knocking, the fire department was door knocking, I have I forget the name of the system, but it's the reverse 911. Thank you.
Yes, I have
Got
this
that sent
before.
out,
Amazing.
yeah.
Well, I
It came
mean,
to my cell phone and.
Landline, yeah.
You're not.
well, I mean, if you guys, I mean, I'm just one person, you
If
know?
you can look that into it, I'm sure we can.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
got people
Thank
that
you, my
refused to
date's
leave,
locked.
and then when they got.
That's probably why I
they
didn't
called
get
in, The
someone
fire
to
guy said they
come
go and wade through the water and drag them out and. Yeah.
Anything else for fire?
That's really all they need is bathroom flooring.
Well, he requested 2 new fire trucks and I said that's on the table.
Yeah, we definitely need.
I decided not to put it on the list because it's not realistic.
No.
Just
I
fire
remember
numbers
the
are
last
regular.
one.
Yes. Yeah,
Don't
and
they
it's-
have over $800,000 for a fire truck in there?
So,
Yeah, they get grants too.
Yeah,
What does the
Yeah.
fire truck cost?
6 something, I think, was what he said.
500.
Yeah, there's no money in the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a couple things we did want you guys to, this isn't necessarily like a goal thing, but some things that we are working on / we already have the grants. So we have our EPA grant, which is for the water treatment plant, which we already have and are already doing. Our backwash, grant for the water treatment plant, just got approved December 5th, I think. So we're starting that. Our mill site planning grant, through park development. Already got it, still, we're working on that. The police seismic grant. Still working on that.
Yeah, it's been submitted, and so we'll get the results, we should know if. Is like last year, May or June of 2026, we should know if we got it, and if we did, how much we got.
The Madrona paving grant, we got it, we're working on it, we're just replacing all the water stuff there before we do that this summer. And then a sewer master plan, we sent in the application last Friday. So we're hoping we get that also. Just so you guys are in the know. That's all I have.
That's, speaking of grants, did we ever get that money from the feds? That, what was it, 2.6, it was in the transportation budget, that, I think it was transportation that Lonnie applied for, and, Merkley pushed through, I believe Merkley was the one that pushed it through.
So we have an EPA grant, which is for the water treatment plant, and that's 2.3,
That might be it.
2.8
That might
million.
be it.
Yeah, so we already have
Federal-
that.
It's federal money.
Yes, we already have that. We've been receiving money from it already.
Okay.
We're getting the
Make sure
stuff
that we got that, not
soon.
with everything that was going on.
There was a giant pause. for-
Yeah, I thought there might.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, so that's all I have.
Are there other grants through, which I think is why the Main Street Association started? Do we need to like focus more on working more with them for more grants to complete some of these projects?
That would probably be great. They're kind of at a weird place, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know, I just know that they do the wine walk and I don't know what they.
What's, who's the president? Jason Mann is their president, I believe. Yeah. And who else is on that committee?
I don't think anybody-
Christina.
Yes.
Christina Astro.
Well, that's another Jason Mann employee.
Marcos and Tommy's.
Yeah, I know Jeff goes in sometimes, I know, Jamie used on Tap House, she was a part of it, she's coming back to it. She's the, she had a baby, so she's sitting away for a while. Here, I don't know, I've talked about joining.
I just know we have a lot of
Yeah.
projects and a lot of things, and there's things available through that association, which is why they started.
Yeah,
They used to do a lot under their, when they had a previous group of people doing it, that's who bought our snowflakes that go across town. They did a lot of that stuff in the city. And then all of those people moved on and it was dead for a while. And then the new people that have taken over, I haven't seen. I don't know
Well,
if they've done-
it almost died, the Main Street Association almost died because it was so inactive and they weren't doing the things that they were supposed to be doing to stay active and stay a part of the association, the Oregon Main State
Right.
Association.
And I don't know what they're doing now besides the wine walk. I'm not aware of anything else. I don't know.
They've done a couple things, Portland Cave, they were involved with that, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's one
and-
I'm aware
What else? There was another project that they were involved with, but
They did the movies in the park. But
of. Am
Joe hit it.
That was one.
Yeah.
I could talk sprinklers.
What is this?
You what?
So I got them at the sprinklers.
And then they use them in gardens.
Don't believe me, I say they.
Not good.
Your phone goes off aggressively whenever the sprinklers come on during movie.
I would bet.
we currently
It's
have a
aggressive.
safety fee of
Yeah.
$3, $4,
You guys have done it quick.
$4, and that is every bill that we send out has a $4 attachment to it, right?
Every, kind of like the sewer fee, every unit
Every
has
unit.
$4. So if there's, a duplex has two $4 fees.
The apartment complex has whatever X
10
amount.
units, they pay $40, yeah,
Okay,
per.
I was
street
just,
and
I was
safety.
just reading where Grants Pass approved a tiered program. That they start out at 4 for the multi-units. And then, for the residential regular single family dwelling is 5, and then it's tiered up. And businesses at certain square footage on up the tier, and the program is funding their police department.
So we're way behind, and I'm not suggesting to raise it, I'm just giving you guys what I know. Winston just raised theirs from 3 to 8.
Yeah.
And they're gonna have another increase, I believe, coming pretty soon, and I think Sutherland just started theirs out, or is going to start it out at 10.
But how long has it been since they had any kind of an increase?
They're just starting it at
But
10.
they've never had it.
Yeah, and then Winston, they've had theirs just for a few years before us, and they went from 3, and their increase went from 3 to 8.
And we're at 4.
We're at 4.
Are theirs supposed to be paying their police? I just wasn't that.
And we're flat across the board, right?
Are they paying
One for
for police
every
with that?
So it's just for the police department.
Right.
So I don't think that they're using it for wages, they're using it for other areas in the
Kind of like what we're
budget.
using us for?
Yeah, so they're using it for areas in the budget, and then,
And we
the
need,
questions that have to come out as general.
we need to reassess ours, I know that's,
Yeah, we have to
We're
look
looking
at
at going to a percentage instead of just a lump sum of that $4, or I think you guys have. been
The
figuring out
budget wise, yeah, we can talk
It's
about
not
that,
budget.
yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, an increase is like, to me personally, when I have an increase, it's a lot easier to swallow when it comes in smaller increments.
Yeah.
Instead of these increases, like all of a sudden I go from $3 and I get a $5 increase, or my water bill, goes from
70
50
to
to 75, right?
Mine
And
went
then,
from 70 to 100,
yeah, and
Clark's branch.
so just
Yeah.
on a personal level, I think it's easier and easier for people to handle on a smaller increase. And instead of waiting for years and years and years, and all of a sudden just throw in a large increase at somebody.
And certainly put out some financials so that people can look and see what the picture is, not just this is how much we need because we say so.
Anytime you raise anything.
Or
like we're
area.
Planning area, paying more for water and
Yeah.
sewer than our neighboring.
No, but we don't.
Something that you're gonna have people mad coming in and hollering.
Winston right now, I think, buying Jill, I think is 150.
We're less than.
Yeah, we're less than that.
Yeah.
Is that right, Leslie?
I don't know, 150 for. I live in Green, but it's way less than that.
Yeah, ours.
Winston really jumped up, what, 2 years ago, they built that bigger plant or something, they really.
Yeah, they've
We're
had.
going $1 this one, $2 this one, and $1 this one. So they know in a 3-year period,
Clark's branch water.
it's gonna go, oh, you're on that, but we're gonna just, instead of giving that $9 now, we're gonna cinch it up, so they,
They did is.
it's not so
Well,
hard.
that's, it's easier with usually people's wage growth too. You know, you only get a small
You
wage
get a
growth.
3% raise every year, and if your bills have grown by 10%.
That's how we did the water plant a couple of years ago, when they built the water plant, they had to increase, the rates, and it was a $5 each year for 4 years, a $5 increase to be able to pay for that loan that was taken out.
Right.
That was a 1% loan that built that plant.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something we're looking into.
Gold.
I know.
We are talking gold, we're talking revenue streams, which is a goal. New revenue streams.
Rent it from the golf course.
Yes.
Couple things thought of like, having Myrtle Creek be a place for people that wanna come. It'd be cool to have, a couple advertised like viewing spots that people could stop off the road and kind of go and
Points of interest.
points of interest, kind of. I don't know, I'm not sure if something like off Bell Road, kind of look out, along the canyon or whatever, or just something like that, or there's some other places around the city that kind of get people to come into the city and kind of go check out. I mean, that'd be
Market the Appleton Trail.
Something like that.
I know you mentioned the Dole Road thing, and that's been, you're talking about the top of the hill
Sure.
across and stuff. So I would market that one, because
Okay.
the owner's been in contact with me, and Richard's had problems with people parking there late at night and doing things, and he doesn't want to have to, but he may be blocking that little area off where people can't. And it's already posted with no trespassing sign.
I didn't know what was going on, I don't go there often.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great view, it's a great spot.
Yeah.
I've taken a lot of pictures from there.
Yeah, it really is.
The food truck area, I know, a few years back, we dumped a lot of money in that, and just, I'd like to see it used a little bit more.
It was on the last year's goals too.
Yeah, I would like to have like a
Yes.
spring food truck challenge or something, because like they have at the fairgrounds, we have a lot better in and out access. So when they have it at the fairgrounds, everybody has to go in and out the same place, so.
Also, I wrote down, I don't know if we wanna have a more of a formal budget for donations. I know people have come randomly and asked for donations and stuff, and we've kind of argued over them a little bit, so I don't know if we have. But having like a bucket that we use every year, that's, hey, this is what we're gonna give out for donation, I'm not sure, something like that, and.
What comes out of?
Yeah, I guess it's a small, but like, that's kind of like a renewal thing, but it's like a small little thing, I don't
So
know.
that it doesn't, you mean so that it doesn't come out of like the council.
Yeah, that we're not trying to find like, it's pulled out, something a little bit more formal. That's like, hey, we will use this, and if we don't use it all, it just rolls over to the next year. So I was just thinking that. I don't do this. And I was thinking about the comprehensive plan, like I think, according to its plan, I think they were expecting our population to be around 8,000 people right now. And we're not near that. I don't think we've grown.
We're not even halfway there.
I know.
I think we've shrunk.
We don't even have room to grow.
Yeah, and so I think, that was one thing is like,
Well, that's.
do we wanna grow or do we not wanna grow? Just keep things as how they are or something like that. I'm not sure. Like we don't do anything
Where are you gonna grow
to
though?
create that growth. Like what, we would have to like pull in more land into like, from the, what's that called? Really good boundary or something like that.
There's probably could
do
build a
things like
couple
that.
hundred houses here. with
Yeah.
that.
What's that?
There's probably enough room for a couple hundred houses to
Yeah,
to
because
go
we've
there.
got the,
Well, I know we have that one thing that's blown up.
And then you have the big lot up off of Spruce by the cemetery that's up for sale, a lot of houses there.
Yeah.
You've got a decent sized one right there, about the 12 or 1300 block division. You have the old dairy right at the end of Nil, and some of that's in a flood zone or floodplain. There's a big portion that's not, that's up for sale.
And there was originally the Spring Brook area up there, wasn't it? had a heck of a lot more houses, on that initial.
No, you're not building up to that.
So I mean, like, we don't really push for those kind of things to create growth, to create. I'm not sure if that's something that we want to look into, consider.
And that's the reason.
Yeah, I don't think so.
What I just said.
There's no more.
And, kind of development down there. Probably not a goal thing, but I wanted to make sure we didn't forget about the vacancy. I'm not sure. It's not in there.
The houses between the houses and the.
Building
business
the-
buildings.
downtown
Oh, yeah.
vacancy.
We're kind of hoping that we can resolve a lot of that with our grant program, is what we're hopeful on.
Yeah.
The urban renewal.
Yeah, the urban renewal.
You think they're gonna,
It's more obtainable and it's giving more,
Uh-huh.
so I feel like it's,
and we wanna go out and offer it to everybody, not just the select few.
right, like,
Yeah.
we're gonna go and hand people these applications, so we hope we have people walking through the door and wanna take advantage of it.
That'd be great.
I think,
Star or plaque or something.
How many of those
I think we
buildings
need
are
to-
owned locally?
attract people here.
Chrissy question.
I think we need to focus on events that bring people here, and then once they're here, then they can see a lot of, you know, the urban development, and if we decide to put murals or paint or whatever. I personally, just off the top of my head, the creek, the mill site right there by the creek, the plexiglass that explains all the, you know, this creek and all that.
Are the
It'd be nice to have a plexiglass that isn't broken. And so I think, you know, focusing, we talked about having music, a musical festival. I know there's one in the spring or the summer, basically, summer festival.
Those
But-
aren't run
but-
by or. put
but maybe
together by the
another-
city, though.
Another event like that would bring people in, and more events where, it doesn't have to be a musical, it could be, I don't know.
So one thing Chrissy and I talked about, for next year is doing more of like a winter thing where we,
Yeah.
do lights at the park
Mhm.
and try to do more, you know, like cool things with lights in the park to bring people in to see lights,
Right.
because with the truck parade and all that
Use
good
the
stuff.
food truck court down there.
And use the food truck court and, bring all the businesses in on that and have it, what we say was gonna be, the,
Downtown light fight
yeah.
Yeah,
and do like grants to help people if it's a money thing to buy the lights and have each business light up their businesses and compete of who can.
Because people
yeah.
come from all over to drive by cool neighborhoods with lights and things like that, so that would be
Yeah,
like.
like
You did that one
park,
year through the
all
chamber.
around the trees
Light
and stuff.
Yeah, and like,
They do, nighttime runs through the lights, runs through the lights.
Oh, yeah, but they, you know, like in the lawn area do, you know, trees and, you know,
Yeah.
whatever else.
Yeah, so people can see,
Mhm.
yeah.
To compete with the casino.
Yeah, wow, that's really.
Yeah.
$80,000.
We don't have that kind of budget.
Like, they had to have cranes to put those lights on some of those trees, holy cow.
It doesn't surprise me, it looks amazing.
It is amazing.
well, I think the whole area is gonna grow.
Wonder if it's a problem to
I
have
think
is-
the problem with having a big event in our downtown is we don't have any parking. We
Yeah,
don't have a place for people to stay. We don't have a place for people to eat.
okay, so that's a good point, so that maybe makes me think that we should build like where you guys are talking about. Just build mainly for the focus of the people here. Like, I've been really excited, trying to think of how we could figure out, you know, how to get the police. More, you know, when they had the fire and the police event that I think you said
Oh,
you were
my-
associated. Yeah, that's in the fall, right? And so we could have something maybe similar to that in the spring or early, you know, summer, and maybe have dogs out there again, sorry about that. But just demonstrations, I don't know what else, you could maybe even have something set up for the kids where you could have showing the office, maybe talking to the kids about, you know, how they would approach, I don't know, certain, I was gonna say, you know, maybe how they would approach a house, you know? But then I'm thinking, oh, well, we don't want the kids to see, you know, violence or guns or anything, but maybe that takes me back to the dogs, you know, so I'd definitely love to see something with the police more highlighted, police and the fire, an event like that, a food event, whatever, that would give it a great opportunity for the food.
But a lot of these big events that you guys are talking about, they're not city ran events. They're organizations. We have the Lions that does Summer Festival. We have Main Street organizations that does 4K. They're not city ran events, so it would be something, it'd be good to, for us, the city, to give the support, but we gotta find an organization that's willing to take that on as their project with our support.
Yeah, so
You
that's.
go to them and ask them to do what you want.
Well, no, what I'm saying is if you're not able to pull in outsiders and you're not able to create something within, well, what is the answer?
I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
Right, if you're gonna, have, I mean, if
Have
you
you
look
ran
at, if we look at,
tourism?
can you just wait, just a
I'm
minute?
just trying to
I'm trying to
ask if that's.
I'm trying to focus and I'm trying to focus and you're interrupting and I can't think. Canyonville is busting in at the seams, right? If you've been over there's work going everywhere. Okay, so if you can't bring in any kind of people to, you know, take a look at our little town and you can't create it from the inside out, then, you know, what direction can we go?
Create it from the inside out, but what they were saying is you need to go to the civic organizations like the Chamber, the Lions and Main Street. Those are the organizations that can create the events
Okay,
even for the locals
yeah, so,
versus city personnel.
right, so what is the answer then?
That the answer is to
Okay.
go to those
And
groups
present it to them.
and see if those groups are willing to look at.
But
new
could we
projects.
start with an event, like the police event, where we work?
Well, that's a private event that's put on by the
Mercy
Mercy
Foundation.
Foundation.
So we're saying to look at.
We
some
don't
of
do
those
anything, we have to have all organizations. We're
Right,
not
so
doing
these guys are
ourselves.
paid to do what they
Yeah.
do.
We don't have the event planning team that's doing all this kind of stuff.
Well, maybe
Nor-
that's the thing.
Nor the personnel to be able to pull it
An
off.
event planning
No,
thing.
that's not gonna.
Event planning thing.
No.
Nor the personnel to be able to pull it off either.
Right, because we're always more than welcome, like the police, and I know the fire does the same thing, any private organization that holds an event and they ask us to come do stuff, we're more than happy to go do it. Like a couple of years ago, they had an event at the library and they asked us to do a bike rodeo.
Yeah,
And so we put on a bike rodeo and inside the little courts for, that was the first one we ever, well.
What's a bike rodeo? That's not just.
So you basically, you set up an obstacle course for little kids and they bring their bicycles and you teach them bike safety of stopping, stop signs and things like that and going through. And
that'd be so cool.
That's cool.
That'd be great.
I was picturing something different.
But the city can be a support vehicle for all of that, like with the Lions and the Summer Festival. If we did not have the support of the city and the entire workforce of the city, we would not be able to do that. We partnered together to make that come about.
Yeah.
And you know,
But we
with the
can also-
bulletin board, that's a big plus, that big bulletin board, that is huge. Yeah. it's been-
I know the rock crawl group had mentioned at one point if they were able to find another area and they had suggested down, but there's no access to the property because of the railroad tracks. But if they could move to a different location, they could do more annual events like Camas Valley has the Camas Valley Play Days that fund their fire department as their fundraisers. If they could move, they would be willing to do more events and that brings in a whole.
Why
different
do
crowd.
they have to move to do that?
Because they need an area where they can do an obstacle course and they just, to have more than just the rock.
Oh, okay.
They wanted-
Camas has a drag race, obstacle course, kids races.
So there was an area down by, on the backside of the disc golf course that they had approached Sean about. Back when Sean was the administrator. And the disc golfers said no because of they didn't want them there because of their overthrow, the rocks would damage their frisbees. And so that area was a no-go, but somewhere else like that, but you don't want it too far out of town because that defeats the purpose of having
Right.
people in town and utilizing your businesses.
Right.
But they were willing to do more events if they had more of a,
The land that the rock crawls on right now, is that Island Lands?
yeah, and the rock
I
section.
mean, he's not using any of it, would they just let him, they're not gonna give it to anybody else, they're not gonna sell it to us, so would they just let him create an obstacle course there?
I don't think so. I don't know that they have asked, but I don't think so.
Well, we as Lions Club identified that property during summer festival for that event to happen. We insure the whole thing. For that event to happen, and we worked with Charles out there to make sure that happens. And before that, we worked with Chuck. So it's ever since summer festival's been going, and I've been involved for 25 years, so.
But they were looking at other events, because that group that puts it on travels to events at least once, if not twice a month, and
Is our property on
across
the road
the country.
possible or too far out of town? I mean,
That might be too far out of town. On the property on Dole Road is what's on.
I haven't even thought about that.
They already have goals for that, and I think it.
They were gonna make a motorcycle.
They were gonna.
Wasn't he was like asking for, he wants to live there or something?
Yeah, and they still want to live on the property.
It's ready to
Yeah,
move
it sounds
that
like
day.
Yeah,
we
it was,
wanted, you had greater plans.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of my,
I have one more idea, it's off this beaten path, but, I would like to see, a stipend go to Brandon for the work that he puts in at the disc golf course, because as he gets older, he'll be less interested in that and doing that, and then we'll have to decide, who's gonna, who's gonna take care of it, if we're gonna try to take care of it, the city, or, but I know Brandon is getting older, so I think, maybe a little incentive to keep him going a little bit more, because it's amazing how much work he does.
He's younger than me. Maybe that old.
I would say, not a big
He was my neighbor for
stipend,
like 2 months, Alf Johnson.
not a big stipend, just something like maybe what Harold gets. Doesn't have to be big.
Yes. That's pretty thorough. Yeah. Everybody happy?
Will be nice, I know we talked about for years, and it's in the 50-year comprehensive plan, is some kind of hotel. But I don't know how you would push for that, I know they try.
Maybe the old buildings.
I will, I'm thinking, the project we have out there at the
Airport.
yeah, that's.
you know, I don't know,
On there.
what's gonna happen with the hotel and, the new center that they're building in Riddle? I think the hope or dream, I don't know if that's kind of died, but was when they built that, was to have these big tournaments and stuff come down here, basketball, volleyball, and that new center. We're gonna be able to have 3 or 4 games going at the same time. And that's gonna be one of the things, if that happens, there's not gonna be enough room and board for people down. I mean, they're gonna have to go to Roseburg.
Yeah, and that place is shells up.
Yeah.
Didn't we kind of like briefly talk about like doing something like that? What he just described at the airport, or replacing the airport with like a plate, like a wreck?
Will they want to drive races?
Well, that too, but we had talked, I think it was a brief conversation at some point, at a sports complex. Like, cause it's pretty centralized between like a lot of different places. And so a large sports complex for like kids, for basketball, soccer, indoor soccer, things like that. And then putting a hotel or 2 right there. I mean, we have all that. So it'd be something we could do once the FAA is out of there.
We would sell the land,
Oh, no, we would keep it, we would.
lease it
We
to a hotel or something.
Yeah.
That's a good idea to have, a building and then have an area where kids play or something.
Yeah.
How's the closest to that?
Yeah.
But that same argument is why.
Can you still write on there? You write one
I
more?
think Tri-City had when, and so then I think they're regretting it now. So I feel like it could be worth it long term,
Yeah,
running water and sewer out there.
but then we'd have to buy all that from Tri-City. We'd have to build their infrastructure.
Yeah.
Joanna. would you write on there, I'd still like to explore the possibility of the RV, park expansion or, putting another RV spots up at the, golf course.
Yes.
Or expanding the current,
I think
facility.
the golf course could be so much more out there.
Yes.
Yeah. When they're doing that no site, master plan, though, that might be a part of it, you know.
I believe it is part of it.
Trampoline park.
There was, I don't know if it's a golf. I don't know if it's golf course or, but that one place up there in Lake Oswego, they had their, driving range that was like a little ATM that spit out money because it was, you know, had heated and people could talk all. Well,
We
they
looked
could
into
just
that.
drive all
Very
day and night because it was, you know, it was not affected by the weather or the daylight.
We've kicked around quite a few ideas of things like, I mean, not obviously Topgolf, because we looked at the cost of to start one of those and that's big. But we've looked at quite a few ideas like that, to do with the golf course.
Yeah, because
Over
that
the
would
past
bring money
couple months.
in all the time, not just when it was a nice day.
Cause if you stop, where is it that, it's a brewery and it's a driving range, what exit is that down there by Grants Pass?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, Merlin.
Yeah.
Merlin.
Yeah,
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 Area 55.
Yeah.
65, whatever.
yeah, yeah, they have kind of,
66.
Yeah, it's really a good thing. It's better than just a golf course.
Yeah,
It seems to bring in a lot more people.
year round.
Yes, it's a constant flow.
And we do have that land at the airport that you see from the freeway, so they just jump off the exit there.
And make a driving
they're right
range
there.
there.
Anything, hotel, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that,
Yeah.
that we could do with that city-owned land at the airport and still keep the airport.
you
Right.
know, another idea that we kicked around, Sean and I kicked around a few years ago, and I still think it would work, is taking that movie screen that we have and doing some drive-in movies in the parking lot at the, golf course. And you can buy a tuner to tune to people's radio station, all I do, tune to the radio station.
Yeah.
And I mean, it costs you like $150 for the tuner to broadcast. I think you got a quarter mile or a half mile broadcast range on it. And that would be something, you know,
Old fashioned fun.
yeah,
I think
something other and cold weather to draw people in. We're always talking about all the warm weather things we have, but the cold weather things.
and that drive-in theater up in wherever it is hopping every time.
There's one in Milton Free Water.
There's one in Oregon City and one in Dundee.
Yeah, that one in Milton Free Water is packed. Every time I go by that thing, it is packed.
It was fun, you know, back in the day, there were a bunch of people in the car.
Yeah.
I have a speaker from the one that's up there at, by the Winston exit. I have a speaker from that. Yeah.
It's real easy to drive off.
I just have memories.
Well, they auction those off. When the Calgary spot that, they auction those off. And I bought one.
That indoor and outdoor, same location.
Yes.
Everything.
A lot of people that,
We used to go on the digital like project big car at work in Monterey.
Well, I think there's a lot of
Trunk.
Figure out.
Yeah.
we just let everybody.
Yeah. That's a conversation.
One thing is, we got some water on.
All right, anything else? Anything else?
We need to do something.
Yes.
So,
We can't just sit
No.
Anybody?
Well, that's a good start.
We have grand plans.
All right, I'm gonna adjourn, unless anybody else had anything to say? No? Okay.